Hello students, now we are going to discuss the losses and efficiency of our three-phase induction motor. Okay, so we have stator and rotor. Because we are having winding on our stator as well as rotor. Okay, we are having, this is our stator, this is my rotor. Okay, because we are having windings on both the stator and rotor, we will be having some losses in both the windings. So those losses are, let us consider the stator side losses first. So what are the stator side losses? They are I square R losses. So we are having a winding. Whenever a current flow through that winding, due to the resistance of the winding, we will get some loss, that is I square R loss, which is also termed as copper loss or ohmic loss. Okay, because it is due to resistance, it is also termed as ohmic loss or copper loss. So because it is a copper winding, due to the loss due to the copper winding, it is also termed as copper loss or ohmic loss. So this is one of the losses in the stator side. Okay, so because we are using a core material silicon steel, so we will be having some losses in the steel itself. Those are like hysteresis, eddy currents, and due to leakage reactance of the winding, so we will be getting some losses in the core material, that is termed as stator core losses. So in the stator side, we have our stator I square R loss, which is also termed as copper loss or ohmic loss, and we are having our stator core loss. So this is about stator side. So let us consider the rotor side losses. So these are the rotor side losses. Because rotor is also having a winding, we will be having our rotor side I square R loss or rotor side copper loss or rotor side ohmic loss. Okay, due to the current flow in the rotor winding, due to the resistance of the winding, some heat will generate in the rotor winding, that is called rotor loss. Okay, and we will be having rotor core loss as well, because we are using core material in the rotor. Okay, due to the losses in the core, that is termed as rotor core loss. And we have one additional loss here in the rotor side, that is mechanical loss. Okay, so all these are electrical losses: stator core loss, stator copper loss, rotor copper loss, and rotor core loss are all these in blue color are electrical losses. But you can see here this part is mechanical loss, because we will be having rotor on the shaft. Okay, we will be mounting rotor on the shaft. So we will be placing ball bearings to reduce the friction between the shaft and our yoke. Okay, this is my yoke. Okay, this is my yoke, which is a constant one or fixed part. Okay, this is my shaft which rotates. So here I use ball bearings to smoothen the rotation. Okay, due to this we will be facing some frictional loss, and we are using slip rings in slip ring induction motors. Okay, so these slip rings will also add some friction to the machine. Okay, the friction is due to ball bearings as well as slip rings. So that is one of the losses in the rotor. And windage losses, due to the own weight of our winding, we will be having some inertia in the rotation. So that is windage loss. Okay, or due to the air friction in the rotor, that is also termed as windage loss. Okay, so these are the losses. If you have any brushes, that is also be considered as frictional loss. Okay, so this is about stator side and rotor side loss. On stator side we have stator core loss and stator copper loss. On rotor side we have rotor core loss and rotor copper loss. In addition to them, we have friction loss and windage loss. Okay, so these are the losses in the stator as well as rotor. Now let us see how the losses are distributed from power input to our shaft output. Okay, so initially we give 3-phase AC supply to our 3-phase induction motor. Then, so now let us see how the power is flowing from input to output. Okay, which is I already told you in the power flow diagram. So let us see. This is my stator. Okay, this is my stator. This is my rotor. Okay, I will be supplying 3-phase supply to our stator. Okay, I have supplied 3-phase supply to my stator. Due to the winding in the stator, I will be having some losses, that is stator copper loss. Okay, some power will be consumed by stator copper loss here. Okay, and I have left with some power. Okay, after I detected stator copper loss, I have to detect my stator core loss as well. Okay, the input power is detected with stator copper loss and stator core loss. The resultant power will be transferred to air gap. So the resultant power is in the air gap now. It is transferred from stator to rotor after detecting stator copper loss and stator core loss. So we are having our air gap power, which is our air gap power. I am representing air gap power as PG. Okay, this is my PG, which is a resultant of our input power minus I detected stator copper loss and stator core loss from input power. So which is my stator copper loss minus my stator core loss. Okay, our air gap power is nothing but input power minus stator core loss and stator copper loss. Okay, the deduction of stator copper loss and stator core loss from input power will result in my air gap power. Okay, this is my air gap power. So the power is transferred to air gap now. Now this power will transfer to rotor side. So this is my rotor side. This air gap power will be transferred to rotor circuit, because we are having winding in the rotor as well. That will consume some copper loss, which is I square R loss or ohmic loss. Okay, our rotor winding will also consume some ohmic loss. So after deducting ohmic loss, we will be having our rotor core loss as well in the rotor side. So I have to deduct rotor core loss. Now we are left with our power, which is called as gross mechanical power output. Gross mechanical power. So after deducting air gap power with copper loss, rotor copper loss and rotor core loss, we will be left with my gross mechanical power output. So that is P gross mechanical output equal to, I can write it as my rotor power input, which is nothing but my air gap power my PG. Okay, PG minus this minus this minus this, this minus this minus this. Okay, I am deducting rotor core loss and rotor copper loss from my air gap power. So I will be left with gross mechanical power. That means I am deducting rotor copper loss minus rotor core loss. Okay, after deducting rotor copper loss and rotor core loss from my air gap power, I will be left with my gross mechanical power output. Okay, because this is gross. Why this is gross? So this gross mechanical power output has to supply some mechanical losses, that is friction and windage loss. So whenever you subtract friction and windage loss from gross mechanical power output, you will be left with my shaft power, which is nothing but my net mechanical power output. When I deduct mechanical losses, which are friction and windage losses, from my gross mechanical power output, I will be left with my shaft power. Okay, so the shaft power PSH can be written as gross mechanical power output minus friction and windage loss. So when I deduct friction and windage losses from gross mechanical power, okay, I will be left with shaft power. This is my ultimate output of our induction machine. Okay, so this is the losses distribution in our induction machine. So first I am supplying three-phase supply power input to our stator. So stator, because stator is having some winding, I will be having some stator copper loss in the stator, and because of the stator core, I will be having stator core loss. So I have to deduct these two components from my stator input to get my air gap power. So my power input has to supply copper loss and core loss in the stator side. Then I will be left with my air gap power, and this air gap power will be transferred to rotor. Since rotor is also having winding, I will be having rotor copper loss, and due to the rotor core, I will be having rotor core loss. Okay, after deducting these two from air gap power, I will be left with gross mechanical power output. Okay, and if you deduct friction loss and windage loss, which are mechanical loss, from gross mechanical power output, you will be left with net mechanical power output, which is called shaft power. Okay, which is my ultimate output of our induction machine. Okay, I hope you understand. And let us see the torque expressions here. My internal torque is given by air gap power by our radians per second, speed in radians per second. This is my internal torque. Okay, and what is the shaft torque? Shaft torque is nothing but my shaft power by speed of our induction motor. Okay, this is the speed of rotor, which is in radians per second. Okay, the shaft torque is nothing but shaft power by our rotor speed. Actually, power equal to torque into speed. So this is the expression for power. So if you want to get torque, you can divide our power with angular speed, that is P by W. Okay, so shaft power will be shaft torque will be shaft power by rotor speed of our induction motor. So this is about losses in our induction machine. Okay, so what are the losses we have? Stator copper loss, stator core loss, rotor copper loss, rotor core loss, and friction loss. Okay, so here we have to see the efficiency of our induction machine. One is rotor efficiency. Okay, rotor efficiency means rotor output by rotor input. Okay, what is the rotor output here? Which is our shaft power. So what is the rotor input? This air gap power is supplied as rotor input. That means if you divide shaft power with rotor input, which is nothing but air gap power, that will be my rotor efficiency. Okay, this can also be further modified as, okay, so this is my shaft power by air gap power, this is my air gap power, this is my rotor efficiency. And what is the efficiency of motor? Which is nothing but our ultimate output, which is PSH by our input to the stator side, stator input. So this is the efficiency of our induction motor. Okay, and at no load condition, our supply is our primary supply, that means our stator supply has to supply stator copper loss, stator core loss and frictional losses. Actually the no load input power is around half of our no load input power, is around 50% of full load input power. Okay, our no load input power only is to supply our small friction and windage losses due to the inertia of the machine and due to the stator copper loss and stator core loss, and rotor ohmic losses are very negligible under no load condition because the rotor current is less, so we can consider rotor ohmic loss as very negligible under no load condition. But under load or full load condition, we have to subtract all these components to get our losses and efficiency perfectly. Okay, so this is about losses and efficiency of our 3-phase induction motor. Okay, thank you.